He got one hell of a boon, nice and thanks to Supreme's domination of the mid lane.
Prophet overall as a hero is just insane. A few series that I have seen
Radiant's
it play.
bottom tower is under attack.
He's a good mid, just a good wolf in this one. It does so much. You don't even need the exorcism a lot of the times it feels, but it just puts so much pressure on the enemy mid laner.
Making her move.
Clean up that reward. Get a little bit of good gold from the Necro book.
We coming in with his Invis rune to the top lane.
He's under a sentry.
He's spotted by a sentry, Chessie. Okay, he knows now. The creep showed up, but they're needing to go for the black hole. The trap has been sprung. Katawiha. He dies.
Ooh, if he's really one right now on Weehaw. He's got the max discipline
Radiant's
just
middle
for
tower
the
is under
farmer
attack.
kind of style. And yeah, he's unfortunately he's under the century, but Sarah, when they get killed, they charge them very good for control. Can they actually set up an extra gank for him? They cannot.
And this is a very underrated aspect of Spirit Breaker is that he can play DOJ's quote dead lane, the hard lane to be in, right? The safe lane, playing around the tier 2 without losing. It's not like the enemy team sees the Spirit Breaker bottom and goes, oh guys, they're versus 5, we can get aggressive on the other side of the map or something. It's a support that has a very unique mechanic that allows him to be able to be in front of certain towers that are out of position, but still be there for the team.
I love that it lets you set up and save TP for your teammates. That's the biggest thing for me. You go for the TP on the front line. He's definitely going to be dying here, but GH is going to get low, ulted up. High era. They need a little bit more, but speedy fast because of the Shukut. As now they're looking to be able to force Charlie. Actually, he's already used his ultimate, so now he's going to die. Exorcism will clean up on Kuro. Does Supreme feel good enough to run into these 3? Doesn't look like it, especially since mind controls here as well. Doesn't actually clip him there as he throws out the Gale, but can try and pressure this 1 mid tower. He might something like a hood or any type of magic protection is Supreme. There's actually a ton of damage coming out from Weaver with Maelstrom with IO. The fact that Overcharge gives you Spell Lamp, it actually is an insane amount of damage that does come out. As Chessie top, the relocate catches him off guard.
Yeah, this is something that is kind of awkward. This relocate against an offlaner that likes to remain kind of stacked in the lane. Nigma and Nigma are very similar in that regard. They want to occupy and own an area of the map, but relocate makes the game a lot harder.
A golden thread.
Yeah, Chessie's gonna have to be a lot more careful of how he shows in the lane. Maybe just having the Eidolons and the Necro book shove rather than actually showing his hero when he does stuff like that. Because yeah, you're gonna get set up by like a fissure and a relocate almost every time. Now Jibe also out of position.
Yeah, he tried to get a very aggressive laning ward out, but sadly, that is very likely, I think, to be denied right away. Just they know it was out here for a reason, and they got it.
Nigma's really starting to apply that pressure and cause the chaos. We still see High Coast. They're keeping communicating.
Into the charge, into the ultimate. Well, he's trying to hold it out into the mouth. Not surrounded, of course, but they controlled them a little bit longer. Maybe the Death Prophet could have been. Could have had a kill. Supreme does now have a Yule Scepter. He's got some defense.
Okay, they'll just actually force that rush. They don't have Exorcism at the moment, so this will give them a little bit of blanket window until they do have that, 25 seconds, and Enigma won't make it there in time. They're just going to get their own farm. And they've caused a lot of chaos. You know, after that little bit of a shake in the laning phase, they've evened things out, and they're actually the ones bouncing back.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
You have Exorcism back up, Black Hole up, and Book 3 finished for High Coast. So some really big item timings all coming together. Nigma really pressing the on bottom, trying to get this tier 2 early. It's going to be reactions now, though. We see High Coast setting up. Nigma's all in the area, though.
Once they're going to go into their safe lane and try and force it with this book, and they're going to manage to catch the Void Spirit with the Yule Scepter into the silence, and now look at that, he's been put in the hole as well, and he's not going to be even in safety for that one, and even the relocate out is not successful thanks to disruption from Zid.
This time Chessie makes up for the whiff black hole, catch the perfect one. We are just again getting caught out. Yule's into a silence, and then they have the book through sticking on him. He's just quickly dead as Nigma gets pushed out of the jungle very easily. And they didn't have to pop exorcism too, so it's just that black hole. So for next fight, Icos can totally look for it. And we see that again, yeah, just he's spotted. He just gets completely controlled, and Miracle walks up a bit too close.
GH, I mean, level 1 relocate takes some serious time, and that Weaver,
yeah,
as soon as he's controlled, Charlie can just 100 to 0 him in like 2 seconds. This GH, I'm not sure what moment that eyebrow movement was for. That was, I'm guessing, Miracle getting caught in the black hole.
Yeah, more than likely. I don't think they were prepared for that quick setup there. Like, Weehaw just walks in, Kuroki's not ready. GH just is not ready to bail them out, and a big hit from Icos. That's what they just, you know, they're gonna have this all this. I'm here to just like sit back, farm, finish up BKB on Ursa. This is looking pretty dang good, Icos, especially with like the hero matchups that they do have. Sure, Weaver is good in a way versus the lack of control, but just the fact that their Spirit Breaker really just is going to make it so hard. It's going to make it so difficult for the Weaver because of how good of a game Era's having too. He's already halfway to Ags. So these charges, like this, the movement speed will be able to match and catch up the Weaver, and just that cooldown, it goes down to 7 seconds. He's going to have it real early.
Reminder to those at home who haven't kept total track of the EU DPC, this is a match that doesn't have any impact for Coast Esports. They've already been eliminated as the team who's currently 1-5. But it does have serious implications for Nigma. We're currently 3-3. And if they win this, then they're guaranteed some sort of tiebreaker in the 3rd or maybe even 2nd spot. But if they go and lose this series, then they still have a potential of being 3-4 and having a tiebreaker for the slot, which is still a wildcard spot to the mate.
And it's definitely feeling a scary Nigma right now with their lineup. Like the fact that Highco lineup, they scale better. You know, the later the game goes, it's amazing for Ursa and for Death. These heroes are going to get really strong, and they have, you know, the support duo is also quite strong. Nigma's got to start together. They have to start causing more chaos. Got to start getting better at those approaches and just being prepared for those setups. They almost do have the blink on Kuroki, which will make things a lot easier because they don't really have great forms of starting the fights, especially with Weehaw struggling so much. He's so poor on this Void Spirit, they're going to need a big blink Echo Slam to bring things back.
Speaking of which, where was Kuro when that black hole went down?
He was all the way so far on the right. Like he immediately started running away. I don't think he could get there in time. They caught them totally off guard.
Well, this is they're gonna have to hit that point, that blink dagger timing really hard. The Yule Scepter for the Venomancer, but it's concerning, right? Because the Battle Fury Ursa, from my experience, man, this hero turns into a serious late game beast.
And he's pretty looking to kind of counteract. But he has Basher already at this point. Miracle.
Oh, if he got a bash there, they might have been able to get the Supreme on the wrong Basher here. Is in an awkward space. He's still got the Yule Scepter and Spirit Siphon. He's going to pop it now to be able to dodge his like trying to take what he said. He still has the Aegis, and the Disruption is out there. Nice Supreme, a little bit more time. Again, a charge comes. Spirit Siphon comes out immediately. Pops that ultimate in order to break the Spirit Siphon. Still hoping to be able to chase out Sabrina now. An ultimate from Era. A silence of Fisher, but this He's on the right side of it as he holds his ground. The Spirits come back. He heals up. Weehaw's going to go down. Another Yule Scepter. Buying him a little bit of time. Silence goes out. Pearl comes in with a big echo. That's on Charlie. Back into it. Almost taking the Venomancer down. Oh no, he's killed before he died. He'll come back for a second life. Era's low on health, and with 1 versus 4, he's going to hide it around heavily. Charlie doesn't stand a chance on his second life. He does go down. The blink dagger's picked up by Kuro now as they finally start getting into the swing of things.
I mean, what a team fight winning fissure just to start everything off. It puts Supreme in such an awkward position. They all have to walk up and just kind of bail him out. It puts the rest of them all in this weird position. The Spirits come back in at a fair time, but they can't quite clean up Miracle. The heals coming out from GH, a bit too much. Really huge fight, a big outplay fight from Team Nigma there, setting up perfectly. Oh, the blink is there for Kuro, so he somehow walked in and got a pretty good Echo Slam in the midst of all that chaos, but it all started off with that just gorgeous vision by him.
A haste rune for Kuro. The
Radiant's
Weaver
top
is
tower
pressuring
has
and
fallen.
does take that top tower. Getting nice bit of tier 2. Why complete for Miracle now is
Look at his next cute item. I guess this is the solution for the Ursa to have a matchup against him. And also that Enigma to have a BKB solution for Black Hole. He's gonna go Basher into Abyssal.
yeah, I mean, they don't have BKB piercing stables, so they're eventually going to need that a bit.
Yeah, I kind of get it. And then also, if he bashes the Ursa, if he's fighting him straight up, right? I mean, that sounds absolutely ridiculous, but like you can see the reasons why he want. Like, what else do you itemize? You'd have to go for like Butterfly or Scotty, kiting him out. I can see the reasons why he could go for this.
Oh boy! Shit. I don't know, man. I find that IO Weaver is like one of the most ridiculous little combos in the game now. Now that Tether allows you to match the movement speed, look at him. He's whipping Miracle, and they Shikuchi, he just doom it across the map.
Like when we had that phase of Bloodseeker IO every game in the offlane. I don't know if you were playing pubs during it, and it was Jesus, they're just 1,000 movement speed the whole laning phase.
866 movement speed.
And now GH has a Vessel finish up, so the profit you see that BKB it if the next coming fight too, and just halted. High cost advantage as Miracle takes the top net worth, and he's swinging from tower to tower. You know, movement speed, mobility coming into play.
So High Coast are taking this last team fight, and what they're saying is, okay, in order to win the next team fight engagement, we need BKB. They're conceding a lot of ground and just trying to find farm where they can. BKB with Death Prophet, BKB being built up for the Ursa as well, as he was obviously kited quite heavily. But hey, you got to watch out for this Weaver plus IO combination. Not only do they have the global capabilities of but near global as they just zoom around the map together.
It really is. It is quite ridiculous, absolutely. With that SNY too, I mean, this is the most common pick on all these carries, but you know, it works really well versus Silence. You're gonna see it there versus that front. I mean, their speed is so ridiculous. Like, they literally can just set up towers so fast. They just swing across the map.
I'm curious, Bug. What do you think about the fact that we don't have like a big late game status resistance item? Are you okay with that? Because I'm kind of okay with that.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
I would like to see it removed from SNY, I'll be totally honest with you.
Okay, fair enough. That's an old school Dota player thing, yeah.
Well, just like the fact that people go back for SNY as like a fourth item just feels so weird, but you know, it works so well with a lot of these. Just swoop it. Like you mentioned, kind of just warp BKBs. They're sacrificing a lot of ground.
Yeah, Arrow was positioned to pick smoke, but you know, break that. Literally moves so fast there. Catch people all the time as they're able to get Sibay on top of that. Unfortunately, all the cores do escape. Kind of what they're still.
And just escape top on Chester. He needs to be careful.
Forward.
He's got.
He's gonna go for the block. This cause here that could have been that. I'm surprised he didn't go for the TP outright. Oh, never mind. There's souls on mind control.
Yeah, he is in a rough spot as soon as he gets spotted up.
Radiant's middle
tower has to be more careful with how they're split up. This Nigma, you know, the mobility is really getting to them. Even though they're the ones with Spirit Breaker, they're able to match this movements. Basher's finished up after that SY very quickly.
They're gonna go and try and get a fast kill onto him. The Weaver's here, jumping up, but Arrow's gonna be able to pick up that Infamous rune. Might need a little more damage to finish off GH. He's burning, but meanwhile, Scream's been behind. You'll before the fissure, but he's surrounded here. He's gonna pop his BKBs. Not out. He's healing alive. GH is still alive, but Arrow's still trying to jack him down. Actually, Burley comes in and bails out GH. The big enchant totem of Arrow. Apparently, he's a little bit too tricky every time.
That criticism and they run. Oh my god! Nigma's just gonna run away with the next 2 minutes or so. They're just gonna keep putting out. Don't look at any space. They got no damage. They got no team fight. And kept Echo Slam through all of this. Keep patiently holding onto it. So they just pumping. Keep swinging around, looking for kills. Echo's fall apart after that top fight.
Yeah, Charlie. There's still a full recipe away from that PKB on him. It almost looks like it's one of those things where they realize what they need a bit too late into the game. And now
they probably just felt they were really strong around that top side. I feel like KuroKy just ruined them with a fissure about the whole thing that they got forced into a fight maybe that they didn't want, because they were like Ursa's Bastion was flying out in the courier. That was what happened.
all right, nice kill. Yeehaw.
Not bad.
Not sure how he initially caught there, but big pickup. Is that Aaron? Sorry, did he have an active, or is that what he's almost got?
Yeah, Era's been 2 points. Okay. It'll be nice. It'll be really good if he's able to get that versus the Weaver.
Yes, certainly.
However, they have lost so much map control farm.
First hit bash, that'll do it to you.
Yeah,
it just crashed into each other, and immediately he got bashed up, and there, not much he can really do. But as a result of that kill, Charlie's going to be able to push out, get some creeps. He's almost there to his BKB. This game significantly changes if they can actually get all three of their BKBs online, because they amps up so much. Ursa isn't kind of, if the Enigma has the threat of the BKB black hole, I mean, a lot changed.
Yeah, still worried about him being able to stick on target, because the thing is, like, he's gonna have BKB, but he's versus Venom. So if they don't remove mind control from the fight immediately, Charlie is still going to get quite kited. They have to be able to get on the target and stick on them, and they don't really have the options. Like, it really is just the BKB hole for them to just get on someone and kill them. But honestly, wait for Nigma to that one. And you know, the Weaver, easy prime goes.
Line of needs its Roshan, and Nigma, they're currently trying to take the Roshan away. His mind control just kind of jumps in, drops the ultimate easily. In these last few seconds of Roche, they're looking to be able to take them out of the minute. One into the minute, get the agent. That's bad team. Black hole going out, only catching one ball. Oh, Miracle got into it. Arrow. But he was already locked. He's gonna have to fight on the second line. Charlie can't be is where been from Weehop. Okay, out. They actually go away. They're going back in because they know Charlie's going to have a BKB anymore. The exorcism though. It's doing too much damage. Behind the cheese though. He pops that and he's going to get bumped back by. Oh, they relocate back over to the other side of the pit and be back in the fight too. May not even need him. Simeon's going to go for a last second disruption and TP out, but that's denied by Weehop. Gets the Yule Scepter on him. Turn back over to Scream, but obviously his exorcism is gone. No more damage left in the tank. Nigma, they take the Roshan, they win the fight.
They have to use 2 buybacks for it, but well worth it. They just show up and make sure that they can pull out Miracle. Look, the first second there, that's like one of the most important fights of this game. Securing that Roche, getting themselves the cheese as well. Miracle able to pop that one and survive through it, and now he's got Abyssal. They've got ways to solve that BKB goal after did some decent damage in the fight. Now on the high ground, they're actually looking for more. It's pretty bad.
Keep pushing that advantage. As I'm fairly certain. Oh, never mind. Yeah, he doesn't have his BKB. Just imagine. Remember when Chessie just kind of like threw out the midnight pulls? Imagine if he's got BKB. And like if he was just a little bit more farmed. He had a BKB here, then he just rolls up inside of the pit and they kind of win Roshan. There's no contest at that point.
He had to be a little bit more patient with it. He only is able to get the one. Of course, you know, Miracle gets bashed into it, but yeah, he could have just literally walked freely into it and gotten the perfect situation for it. Weehop played this fight really well.
Radiant's middle tower is under
getting
attack.
these good jumps for them. Going and GH tuning themselves perfectly for the fight. Some really nice,
middle
clever
tower has
and moving that positioning of the fight. Just getting their position to carry. Got Abyssal. He's huge now.
This is entire idea is that they have to be able to bring people down to altitude, right? They're very excited. The big black hole, but if they might stretch out the team line, one goes, more likely they are to win. Now it's over with the Weaver. It's over. Just enraged. He just shakes off that disable. He doesn't chase for more. Oh, they still give enough respect to Nigma on this high ground that they even in a 4 versus 4 with no Weaver, they are still going to back away.
It's a huge kill. Like Charlie gets that one, he's able to back away, and he can just finish up his look to finish up his next item if he'd like to, which is guess it's gonna be that Abyssal. I guess you just can't go for Blink Dagger, unfortunately, because you are versus again the back lines, because it's really just this breaker who can right on High Coast. And these supports, they're still doing a number on Nigma. Even though Kuroki did die, so did my control. They're doing their job. They're getting their spells off back there.
Now, Fog, do you think that Nigma is on a timer to end the game, or are you okay with the way that their heroes?
I think I'm okay with the way that their heroes scale, just because of the fact that they have this IO with the Weaver. It just makes him that much stronger. If it was just a Weaver with no actual steroid, then I'm a little more worried. But the fact that IO just makes you a monster, you know, overcharge is a whole different mechanic in its own of what it can do. So I don't mind them going later.
In which case, if they go later into the game, like their biggest threat is going to be just dealing with that black hole. That is sort of an anti-carry measure that High Coast has. A Fisher not going to be on the mark as Charlie's able to pop himself a little bit farther away. Good for now. Zippe, he now has an Ether Lens, so better opportunity for him to disruption so far.
I'm just worried about them on High Coast ever being able to actually control Miracle enough. I feel like they have to absolutely actually kill him. The last one, you know, he got a bit unfortunate because of the positioning, and he just, you know, he dropped out of Chikuchi for killing the Shadow Demon, then just gets bashed. But most of these situations, he's got so much backup. Like this High Coast, they have to try to assassinate GH at the start of the fight. They tried last time, but he is really durable with this Mech Medallion Vessel. But they have to take care of him because he's making Miracle do too much in the fight. The mobility, the damage, everything from overcharge.
It's split right now, but Nigma, instead of going for a man push into the triangle, they might be. I thought maybe they were just going to go for a fast push into bottom lane, but maybe they're waiting for Charlie to actually show himself. And show himself he does. They start on lead up, immediately get the disable on and throw every single disable they have in the book right at Charlie to make sure no chance of BKB, no chance of the enrage.
And that's 70 seconds. That's a good read by them. They had the catapult wave pushing in. If they knew that all of High Coast was set up top, they just waited for that perfect swing. And now look at the damage. Era just gets completely eviscerated by Miracle PD. Now the Tiger, he's got the Orb of Destruction. So they're gonna push at a pretty fast pace with this D2.
Dire's top tower.
How do you? Are you gonna give the lane entirely? Are you gonna have to and poke?
They Sonic purge there, but it's a Weaver. He doesn't care. Gets that poison over on all three heroes here.
But they have to finish it. The hero DKB going to be forced to use my Chessie. Kind of starts to charge forward, but do what he. Yeah, as
Radiant's
now
middle
there's no hope of getting a black hole when Deers is up.
No, they're just gonna.
Radiant's middle has fallen.
Gotta be careful not to lose anybody too. Sigma's gonna back away, get this big advantage. 11k. Everyone gets an injection of golds. We see multiple solutions not being prepared. Or that Enigma BKB, even Weehaw queuing up the Bastion and the Abyssal Blade. They've got a Wind Waker about to be finished onto my control, so lots of different ways to protect teammates and just to stop the fight.
Oh, I'm excited to see the Wind Waker, man. That is like that item hard to get, right? Because it's so expensive. But it is a hard counter to the big team fight abilities of Black Hole and Chronosphere.
Yeah, you just Wind Waker your teammate and he just flies out of it in the funniest way possible.
Yeah.
I think I've only seen 2 Wind Wakers. I got this one yesterday only for a couple of seconds.
Uh-oh. Abyssal Blade back to be able to stop the Earth and now follow up disables. Now he's going to pop it over, but he's pretty good charge. Now the Black Hole he jumps right in, headlong into the darkness. And now GH, he's going to be pulled back in by Nigma. A fatal error there, perhaps. 6 lose 3.
That was maybe a little bit awkward time lapse. Wait. Get out.
It's just got out. Kuro got his blick up. Oh,
no way.
No. Our full support's gonna get out of this. All right, he's been charged. See if he can hit. No. Oh, Aaron's in chase.
Kuro because he's that charge too. Well, he knows where there is a word. He puts out the sentry. Nice no hesitation by Chessie. Gets the Black Hole and we hop. a bit unfortunate for him. He jumped from it. Yeah, literally as it was about to get cast. We'll see this one again. Miracle. Maybe not the time lapse expected, but Arrow was prepared with the charge and wham. Nicely done.
Yeah, this Spirit Breaker is really
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Like time lapse until after charge hits me, but I could potentially be stunned down or top, but the disable connect with me after.
Dire's courier
Second
has
shot.
been killed.
Here he's got his beacon. He's gonna have to use his phone. He pops the break. And he just dead. I know.
Just dances the whistle.
I felt like I was just got a piece through their belly, and then all of a sudden, kind of gets thrown away.
Yeah, and now they don't have 30 seconds. So Nigma with that play only versus they just go hard. And you take out the buildings. Icos to be very careful. These much.
Yeah, Sibe, he's gonna be forced to buyback here. That's the word high ground, but it does get him killed in the process. He can slow this down. 35 seconds. Melee Necrops on you to go down. Supreme. He's got to be careful of these chain disables. Weeha's going to be forced to use another actual step there. Fish block.
Look at all the buffs on Miracle that they're putting on him. They're going up just the blow.
Supreme. They are bump. That was a lot, especially thanks to the Soul Capture adding a bit burst. Actually, now.
It's gonna move it that way. Yeah. Or it's gonna be respawning. Yeah. On it. They that's enough. And
smoke up high state.
Radiant are standing.
I think as well on the Enigma, they've got brave to fight. Everything's up to them. They get the catch. They've got two. Actually, good position. Watch it beyond.
Oh, wow. He's on a chest here. They perfectly. They got a ball to curl. He's down now. Silence to be able to follow up on Weaver. He's immediately being stunned up here. I think that was Wind Waker used on him. Miracle's going to be with another. They're already at the black hole here. GH, he could for a potential relocate. He'll save here, but the black hole is like the toe of them. Buyback on the Earthshaker, but there's no buyback on our Weaver or our IO. High Coast. They can take this because they're unable to get Weehaw, but they can go into the Roshan pit if they wish. Yeah, he throws out the Void Rep. That doesn't stop Air for long. Bulldoze, he shrugs off that disable. The ward is still there.
Wait, Weehaw was pinging that ward though. Like the ward, he just gave his life. That ward just literally won that whole entire situation.
Oh, mind control, the Echo Slayer! A walk up from Nigma with 2 here. You're hoping this is enough to get those down. Buyback from Weehaw. Icos, they're going to be losing away here. Supreme is going to be forced to use his PK. He's going to go for TP out. Icos have to reset. The Roshan's not low enough that Weehaw can do it by himself.
They got 10 seconds or so left on Weaver. He can't take this up by himself. It's going to take way too long. They're going to have to swing back over. Ursa even buys Blink. They're booking it.
They're going to run back in, but the Weaver's going to be up in time. They also relocate coming in from the IO. They're immediately going to try and rush this. Can they get the time to pass? Oh, he's going to go in, but can't actually stop it. He's going to hit on the ground. Supreme with he's got to be careful here. Nigma starts backing themselves away. A charge in from Era. It's Charlie who runs on in and tanks the Void Remnant, but he will manage to catch up with Recon here. Thanks to the Abyssal Blade. A follow-up bump in there from Era. He's going to be able to get him killed, and GH just used his tether as well, so he can't tether himself to Mirror. But High Coast, respect the fact that Nigma, they got a cheese, they got a refresher, they got just they do not want to extend themselves.
No, don't overextend on High Coast.
Top tower
They're about to have their ults back up. 30 seconds. Charlie's actually walking very aggressively here anyway.
And Charlie, he don't give a damn.
They don't. He's still because for such a long time. Charlie's going to play Ursa properly. But look for those type of catches. But their ults are about to come back up on High Coast.
Yeah, as you say, with the Venoman dead, and then he's got legs on top with his mobility. There's such a massive difference for him. They're going to try and burst down the three, but he's got first beat and beat black hole. And the Weaver holding out signature. He's managed to get up the James, and the Weaver's not dead. He managed to get out the timeline. He's losing himself away. His team with it. They're not with himself. Venomaster. Now from the secure time, it seems like with Gold Scepter as well. He's still a double in refresher. Forward with the action step. Put onto the Ursa. Ursa almost dead. He pops in. He's trying to go for deep. Denied by the Gold Scepter. You're not going anywhere. Big Bad Bear. As he turns around, goes for the guy. Does manage to get hit killed before he error. They did get away. They've got the Void Remnant. They snap him out of his place. High Coast. They do not manage to win that team fight. These fights are playing towards the end of the game now as we go into late death timers. And Nigma, they're the ones with the advantage. They can push now.
Dire's
Close to
bottom
getting
tower is under attack.
Cheese, and then the time lapse, they're not actually able to focus fire. GA jump killing out. Nice fight from Nigma. Spot control gives life up for Miracle. Miracle, yeah, like we said, still ages, and now he's got level with all this ability. It takes the lead to buyback.
They have the 2-2 up at top, so they may be just making the executive call. There's black hole. Bear are not worth as much as a buyback.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
No, not at this point. Double barracks really hurt play against, though. That constant pressure that comes out, and it is the middle and bottom one, so they're gonna have to. The tension is going to start getting pulled to the bottom and mid lane, and then that's always going to give like those weird Roshan potentials for Nigma if the game does get to that point later on. It's going to be tough for High Coast now with 2 Raxes down. Always going to be the sides that are being forced in, and then yeah, they have to just like run all the way around the map. And this Nigma, Nigma's draft is all about that mobility and pulling them around the map. They are able to outnumber. Oh, yeah, that will hurt High Coast a lot. I think these 2 Raxes might hurt them more than they thought it would.
They do have an extra late game step here, Pogged. Tennessee is working towards a refresh. We've seen how effective Black Hole is at being able to Weaver on.
Does he have mana? He's going to be really used to not having the mana for double, I'll be honest with you.
He may have to go for mana booster after this refresher if he helps to be able to do anything with it. Let's see, maybe
we'll see.
Grabs a bunch of and shoves them in his.
Yeah, something like that. He's gonna need it. He doesn't have the mana. You want to ideally get at least like one of the midnight pulses off too. If he midnight pulse, he doesn't have mana. No, refresh here.
Supreme, they're gonna lead off on him. Just poke. Seeing if Supreme or anybody from High Coast can be pulled out of position. Miracle, he's gonna be spotted here. He does have double damage. He's super bladed, but they do have the Scepter back home. It's gonna be all GA. Can they save? They're not gonna go for it on the first life, and he uses tether, but it doesn't actually ban out Weehaw. Meanwhile, the second life here is gonna come to play, but the old Scepter stops. Can get the silence? Where's they gonna bash hit? Silence and play. The Weaver's dead.
Nice stuff from Era controlling the backline. He kept chasing Kuroki. Kuroki can't actually go for any play to save him out. And that's 80 seconds. So
under attack.
Back and forth. We keep having these deaths where there's no buybacks, and every single time he seems to be getting caught in with his brother inside of that.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
29-28. A match that High Coast have nothing to play for, but they also have nothing to lose.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
In the face.
Charlie. He finds him.
All right. I mean, that's the kind of game-winning move. They no longer have to worry about an Earthshaker as they approach the high ground, which is great for them. They can just be very effective. What do they do with this timer, though? I don't think they know there's no buyback.
Radiant's middle tower.
If you don't know there's no buyback on the Weaver, that's 2 to gold.
Mind Control's gonna have to try to stall. He has to be super careful on this Venom. So they'll try to dive him instantly. Charlie, pop the enrage. Get that. And they should be able to get this Rax here.
Dire's middle tower
we'll continue to slow it down. They're being very cautious. Probably afraid of the buyback, you're saying.
Keeping it going.
Has fallen.
12 seconds till the Weaver's up. High Coast are probably looking at themselves. Okay, this is enough time. They're going to pop ultimate, actually, and that may scare High Coast away. The preemptive relocate.
Okay.
That was
the Rex up.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
I mean, they just pretty much spooked Hypos from being able to get that melee Baron.
That was nice. I like that Nigma's playing very cautious because Chessie, I think they spotted that he had Refresher and he did instantly pop it and then he ninja geared, I think maybe even in Vision. So I think they were very afraid of that black hole coming in. We'll all respawn. Some nice wards coming out from the side of High Coast. There's actually one in the base of Nigma that they did not take out just yet.
Oh, man. Bog, do you see that Trickster Cloak on the Death Prophet? I mean, that is some big survivability upgrade there. Whether the active works, just the evasion against this Weaver who's does not have an MKB.
Yeah, I mean, even Magic Resist isn't bad because he is like, it'll add up a little bit there, but yeah, nice pickup, and I like the hacks. It really is those. Keep Weaver in play. Times now, if they just keep Miracle locked down, he will die, and they do have quite a lot of forms of it now. As Charlie, he finished up too, hasn't quite spent his gold.
He's also an instant disabled to potentially catch GH, right? Because play, he has to be able to get the relocate onto Miracle. So everybody from High Coast will be high alert.
Barracks are under attack.
Couple catapults here. They've got the Eidolons in the next book.
Radiant's
The melee
top
racks.
tower is under
Getting low. There's still a ward in the base too. They have a gem now on my control, so we'll be able to take that one out.
These wagons are hard to deal with. They're going to throw up the point burst and try and cut it, but melee Barrett stuff.
Meanwhile, bottom, we see double siege wave coming in from Nigma. It's going to hurt that tier 4 quite a bit.
Middle tower is under
They're
attack.
picking it. I feel we're going to get to some rap potential. Cap, I'll be honest with you. I always see like 2 racks is down. I see Weaver. I see Io. I think Nigma's just looking for opportunities probably at some point to go for some base pushing if the game starts to get into like some weird forms.
Yeah, especially when Weaver gets level 25.
Yeah, Weaver and Io 25 could definitely just take out the throne really quickly with that attack tethered. So yeah, definitely in the realms of the game getting to that point. Icoast has hit hard in these last 2 fights, and they're gonna have these refresher black holes constantly too to threaten.
MKB Thursday. There, I think the only evasion he's dealing with, am I crazy? Is it just the tree?
I think it is, yeah.
I wonder if
I was checking his yeah.
You think he did a butterfly out of the Weaver?
Radiant's
I'm not
middle
sure.
tower
I guess
is
he
under
must have.
attack.
I'm trying to see if I'm missing it. I don't think so. No. It is an annoying item to deal with.
Is there a better damage item if you don't keep the Truth Crank though on Ursa?
I'm thinking versus Weaver. Maybe thinking about for the later stage, if the butterfly. I mean, on the other, I'm not really sure what other options. Yeah, I see them just go like SNYs and stuff like that, but Nigma's one.
That's an negative scepter and a refresh. So the Ags is the maybe Io.
Yeah, Io cheese. I don't know. GH is still deciding. He's flying the courier around.
Oh, so they do the mic control, but he's charged through a black hole being used. Weaver, can they burst? But he does have to get the relocate out. Miracle's away to safety. And you do. They want to re-engage. They want to be able to catch High Coast. As the gem's going to be left behind here. Refresher's going to be popped. This is why Nigma needs to respect. If they choose to re-engage here, got to respect that second black hole.
Such a nice reset. And Exorcism was expended, so Exorcism's still pretty important for Supreme. He's actually about to hit 20 profit too. GH still coming with clutch. Did he hand him over yet? Did he give the Ags over? He did. Okay, so Venomancer has Ags, and the Refresher Shard is on Wee Hospital this time.
Jumping in, he gets a jump on Weehaw is dead. A bit of light into the mouth. They just cannot handle this fast damage. Is now Miracle. He's going to stand strong for a moment against Supreme, but realizing for his best jump, he's got to get out of here.
Middle tower is under attack.
This Vision, it's really crippling these mobility heroes on the side of Nigma. The instant disables are just too much for them when they're under vision. Just multiple times now I've seen Weehaw getting, Weehaw getting caught by that. He's got 10 deaths on this Void Spirit just because of these instant quick grabs. This hold his hex now. And yeah, it's honestly the vision really wins games about.
a late BKB is the choice now for Mira.
He's getting annoyed by all these little things. Like it's not just the back share, it's not just anything like this. It's like the little Malefice stuns and everything are pretty obnoxious. So
Mira. That hit does a lot of damage as he's gonna re-get his ultimate off thanks to the bulldoze, making that disable not last very long. Should be able to keep the chain step pretty easily. Now with Charlie here, Miracle's got to be a little bit careful. He was hoping to be able to kill that Spirit Breaker. He does pop his been turned around so quickly, but now he's been silent.
Charlie's being slowed up.
Yeah, he's dealing with the Venomancer. You said this is a hard game for Charlie to be able to play. The Venomancer's allowed to be in his face constantly. They do manage to get the sight onto Miracle. Well, he quickly shrugs it off and is able to get his Shikuchi away. This is not even slowing things down. Incredibly, the Wind Waker away goes Mind Control as Miracle looks to be able to chase him down again. BKB activated, PP out. Oh, he missed the play from Miracle. Catches him on the left. You can hear it now. Supreme. Well, not the Jet. No, so it should be able to pick that one up even if it takes He dropped the gem off. Oh, he hit it. He hit it behind.
He tried to. Oh, he did it. Oh, nicely. And
Radiant's middle tower is under
now
attack.
forcing the
Radiant's middle tower
buybacks.
is falling.
One buyback. The Spirit Breaker catch. Buyback. She think he get it. What? But he gets the cheese off first. Supreme. He charges forward with the sheep. He couldn't even to catch somebody. They just used 3 buybacks. Needed a successful fight for that. Don't get it.
It's just so hard for Charlie to do anything. Just body slow, Venom poison sting. It's just kite central for the Xerxes. Now he gets on top of Miracle.
Is that the first life? No, gets off the time lapse and zoom away. Era, zoom on after him, goes for GH and realizes that's too.
It's gone for Heart next too. Okay.
Charlie.
So no boots. He does have spider legs at the very least, as we've said from earlier, but he's just feeling like he's getting pressured too much. And the thing is, he's built Heart into a Scotty, so that kind of just makes Scotty a little bit better, I feel. He's just getting tighted anyway, and then reduce the effectiveness of the heal. It's a hard game for Thursa anyway. Just watching him in the fights. It's just poison stings, tails, ghost scepters, wind wakers, as he's getting hit by Scotty the whole time. It's pretty frustrating for Charlie this game. I don't think he knows what the solution is. That's why we're seeing, like, you know, MKB versus Evasion. Now Heart, he doesn't really know what the solution is versus all this kiting.
Looks like we're going to be able to go high ground with this H. This is wrong. It should be fading pretty soon, right? Ooh, this 25 seconds.
20 seconds. And Miracle spends his gold finally. What's he bringing out? Is it a Satanic? It is. He's going to have more survivability on the Weaver next.
At least it's 2 seconds. 2 seconds left. But I know you see an opportunity to be able to pick the GH. In my system, excited about goes to the Disney immediately. Stable thanks to the static. Charlie just passed up. Now he's going to be Echo Slam, but he managed to get the advantage. He's going to start focusing on the Miracle. On the side, they're going to be potentially high here with the first black hole. He's already did. He's going to go for the buyback. He's must-win engagement. But they can close out this game now as Aaron turns around. But he caught the fish. Pulls him down into the grave. And Supreme running over with the exorcism. They got to be careful of Chessie, though. He doesn't have mana for a second black hole, but maybe lose it from hole a second. Doesn't catch Miracle. And now Chessie, he's going to be. They might be able to kill GH. They have 2 minutes on the clock for 1, but GH, he's able to buy back immediately. Despite oh no, it's too much. They know he cannot resist any longer. I would try to dead the black hole used. That is it. High Coast, Nigma. A hard-fought game 1 victory for them.
That was a stressful one for them for sure. They started really getting their stuff together. The mobile game is just insane, really. They couldn't stick. They had to choose what to stick on a lot of the times, right? I think Icos got a little fortunate in some of these fights that we literally jumped into some black holes. Because I felt like a lot of these fights, the mobility was getting to them. Like there was a team fight on one side, but then this Weaver and Io was on another side, and they just had to split.
But 2 of High Coast Esports versus Team Nigma coming your way here at DreamLeague Season 14, powered by Intel, and I can't wait. I hope that the second game is going to live up to the expectations of the madness of the first game. However,